I'm in love with you, and I just can't help it myself. I'm in love.
Schlossberg, Managing Director at BK Asset Management.
BK Asset Management's Kathy Lean.
Boris Schlossberg.
Hello, everyone. This is Kathy. I'm trying to figure out why I am not showing up full screen. Let me try to figure this out. 1 second. Let me see what's going on. I got it. Here we go. Good morning, everyone. It's I want to do a sound check. If you can hear my voice and you can see me on full screen, say hello. Just give me a second. Let me center this. Let me know that everything is working well and you are hearing me great. All right. Welcome, everyone, for live trading non-farm payrolls. It's always a very exciting time to live trade NFPs. Sometimes NFPs can be very market moving. Sometimes NFPs is not so market moving. I think that this will be one of the months where we may get some big moves off of NFPs. And that's not always the case, because sometimes it has very little impact on what the central bank does. And while today's NFP report probably won't have too much impact on what the Fed does, I think it'll have a lot of impact on what the market thinks about where the U.S. economy is, where it stands, and certainly how it could impact all of the major currencies. Now, before we kick off, I always love to find out if you've joined us before. If you've been to if you've traded non-farm payrolls with me before, say yes. If this is your first time and you're a virgin NFP trader with us at BK, say no. Let me know if there's first timers here, or you can say first time. Let me know. Okay, Andrew, I know trades with me all the time. First time for Nandembi, Raymond, Upstate Freckles, Alex. Okay, so it's about half and half. Half of you traded NFPs with me before, half of you haven't. Now we start early. We started at 8:10 because everything we do, even with our day trades, it's all about planning, preparing, and executing pretty much as soon as the number comes out. Like we create a trading plan. We talk about, the idea behind, why this is our trading plan. And then when the number comes out, we're ready to execute on the trading plan. And we don't just see what happens and then trade. We kind of try to figure out exactly which pairs we want to be in before, and what is the best opportunities that could come off of NFPs, because there are a lot of choices. There's almost too many choices, and too many choices is certainly a problem. So I'm going to share my screen in a second. I'm just going to pull up the calendar. So we first talk about what is expected for NFPs. But first of all, it's important to talk about what is expected for NFPs. What's the current sentiment in the markets? And then, also what the leading indicators for non-farm payrolls tells us. So I am just going to change my calendar to today, and then I'm going to share my screen. So now you should see my calendar. And, we are looking at the non-farm payrolls report. You can see that the market expects, believe it or not, job growth to be stronger, 143,000 to 159,000. They expect average hourly earnings growth to be slower, 0.3%, and the unemployment rate to remain unchanged. Now, first off, the reason why we always, you don't see my screen? Who can see? It's not showing. That's so weird. It's showing, I see it in my panel. Oh, I know what's going on. Hold on. I think I know what's going on. Can you see it now? Can you see my screen now? So please say yes or no. Please say yes or no. Okay, wonderful. Boris is plays around with the format here and doesn't tell me about it. And sometimes, I have no idea what he's changed. But he will be joining us. And actually, before I even mention that, the way we trade non-farm payrolls is we create our trading plan, we lay out a trading plan. I trade Forex first, right off of the data. Then he joins us and he trades indices and gold. So, and then he'll I guess shift into a full trading session with NASDAQ and gold and the indices right around the New York Open. So that's why he's not with us right now. Anyway, you're looking at the forecast with me, and we talked about how job growth is expected to be stronger, 159 instead of 143. Average hourly earnings growth is expected to be weaker. But the reason why non-farm payrolls, and we only trade non-farm payrolls reactively, is because there are so many pieces of the puzzle that could go wrong in a sense. One number could be stronger, another number could be weaker. And so it's always better to wait for the number to come out and then get into the trade afterwards, because we could have non-farm payrolls growth come in 130, but average hourly earnings coming 0.04. And that could end up being more positive than negative for the dollar. Or we could have non-farm payrolls come in at 159 as expected, and average hourly earnings growth go to 0.1, and the unemployment rate increase to 4.1. There's so many pieces of the puzzle that that's not like just one number, like inflation, CPI. It comes out, exactly what it is. Or German factory orders comes out, exactly what it comes out as. There's so many pieces that come out, and it makes it a little bit difficult for some people to interpret. So I believe that everyone can see my calendar now, Hen. Maybe you are a little bit delayed in joining. If anyone else cannot see the calendar, please make sure you say so in the stream and let me know that that's the case. Okay, so aside from non-farm payrolls, we also have the Canadian jobs report. So we get to trade the dollar, we get to trade the Canadian dollar as well. And so that could create some interesting opportunities in either dollar CAD or CAD yen, based upon, which way this potential surprise is. So you can see here that the Canadian jobs market is expecting significantly weaker CAD data. They're expecting employment growth to be pretty much 20,000 compared to 70,000. So a significant drop from the previous month. Thank you, everyone. Hen, I think you may just be a little bit delayed. And so, you just, so it should be working now. So anyway, Canadian job growth expected to be significantly weaker. Unemployment rate is expected to be up. The CAD data is very important because next week we have the Bank of Canada rate decision. And right now, the market expects the Bank of Canada to cut interest rates. And so the market expects the Bank of Canada to cut interest rates by 25 basis points. And, if the number comes in stronger, those odds, that expectation is going to change. The market's going to go to predicting, possibly no interest rate cut from the Bank of Canada. So this data is very, very important. So I have some questions here. How many lots do you go in? That's a very personal decision. You should basically be risking, in general, no more than 1 to 2% of your count in any one trade. So how many lots you go in will depend upon how large your count is. But with, NFP trading, the pips that we try to get are relatively small. Now, in general, we target 20 with every trade that I put on. It's 20 pip stop, 20 pip target. Sometimes we'll let it float some more. In general, Friday NFP days tend to be very strong continuation days, meaning that, once the dust settles, whatever move that we get could end up being a move that lasts for a while. So that, is quite significant. So now we know what the expectations are. So the question is, will the dollar rise or fall? Well, of course, that is going to be based upon the outcome of NFPs. But it's a little bit more than that. It's also based upon what the sentiment, the vibe of the market is right now. But before we get to that, I want to show you this table that I created, which illustrates, I like to put together this table ahead of every NFP report because it helps us understand where the other labor market numbers stack up, whether it's telling us, it's going to be the odds favor a stronger or weaker payrolls. Now, if you've traded NFPs with me before, you'll know oftentimes it's like half and half with maybe one extra on the other side. But what do you see right now? I mean, based upon this, we all see basically a lot more arguments in favor of weaker payrolls than stronger payrolls. Yes, ISM services jobs increased, which is important because the employment component of ISM services, which is service sector, is a very important leading indicator for non-farm payrolls. But the argument for a weaker job growth number is very significant. I mean, there's a lot of them. 4-week moving averages, highest since December. We had the weakest ADP report since July of last year. Challenger, which we don't really look at that much, but Challenger reported the biggest jump in layoffs since 2020. I mean, think about that for a second. The biggest jump in layoffs since 2020. It's huge. We had a drop in JOLTS. JOLTS measures job openings. So we have drop in JOLTS, and that means that job openings have fallen quite a bit. ISM manufacturing reported weaker job growth, which means that, we're going to see, weaker job, that manufacturing jobs are being lost, but that's a little less important than some of the other ones. And confidence is starting to crater. Confidence, University of Michigan Sentiment Index is at 15-month low. Consumer Confidence Index saw its biggest drop since August. So taking a look at this, here's my question for you, and I want you to answer in the chat box. Do you think non-farm payrolls is going to beat or miss expectations? Do you think, based upon what the other leading indicators for non-farm payrolls tell us, do you think we're actually going to get a stronger jobs number, a beat, or a miss, or a weaker jobs number? Richard is very, very optimistic. He thinks we're going to get a beat anyway. Most of you are saying miss. And let's see if we get a couple more comments in. Miss, yes, Enrique says, hit the like. I don't really know how the likes work, but I know that Mr. Beast and all the other YouTubers say hit the like buttons. And, that definitely helps to boost the stream, the channel. I appreciate it. Please hit the like button right now. Okay, so most of you are saying a weaker jobs number, a miss. And I think so too. But there's one very important thing that we have to realize. And this is what everyone's talking about why this month's NFP number may not be as ugly as next month's. Because the way the non-farm payrolls number works is that, and this is why we have revisions, is that basically there's a 12-day survey period. And the Bureau of Labor Statistics, who puts out this report, takes the first 12 days. Then they basically say, okay, it was X number the first 12 days, then there must be X number the next 12 days. So they basically extrapolate. Just hit the thumbs up button on X. I guess that will help it too. So they take the first 12 days, and then they use that number to extrapolate the last 12 days. So most of the job cuts were in the second part of February. And that as a result, that may not be reflected in the February jobs report because it was the last 2 weeks of the month instead of the first 2 weeks of the month. But that's basically, misleading, because if we get a stronger NFP report because we had stronger numbers in the first half of the month, doesn't mean that all of the job losses that we've heard about in the federal sector, in the private sector, won't show up in the second half of the month. But then at the same time, it will be interesting to see how these things are calculated, because I know that when it comes to layoffs, if you are getting severance and you're taking your severance on a paycheck to paycheck basis versus a lump payment, and if you're getting health benefits, you are sometimes still on the payrolls until those things expire. So it really depends how the calculation is done by that company itself. But there's a lot of reasons to believe that this may not be as ugly as when the revisions come out next month, or as ugly as the March number. Now, we'll just have to see. It could still be ugly because, there were a significant amount of layoffs. But the point that I want to make for you, and the reason why I'm saying this is because the risk is to the downside for the US dollar, meaning that today, one of the most important things that we take into consideration when we trade, and this is true of live trading non-farm payrolls, this is true of when I trade my zip strategy every single day. The most important thing to consider is what is the sentiment in the market. Is the market bullish or bearish dollars? And you can see that we are in a day, today is a day where the market is already bearish dollars. You can see the euro is up, dollar yen is down. Let me get rid of this. Dollar yen is down, dollar Swiss is down. The dollar is up against the Canadian dollar, but and the Aussie and the New Zealand dollar, which is very important. That will be a part of our trading strategy. But the dollar is on its back foot. And it's on its back foot also because US yield, which every Monday when I talk to you, and every video that I try to put out, I talk about the importance of watching US yields. US yields are lower today. So the market is going into NFPs with a bearish dollar bias, rightfully so. Because, if we get a weak jobs report, that's going to reinforce the growth concerns of everyone. That's probably going to lead to US yields. That will definitely lead to US yields falling further. And that will lead to euro rising more, probably coming up to test this high here at 109.36. It will lead to dollar yen falling further, dollar Swiss falling further. And that if we get a weak number, the trade that we're going to be looking at primarily is either going long euros, because what you want to do is you want to be aligned with the general direction of the market. So if the market is really bullish dollars right now, really bullish euros right now, if we get a weak number and the euro is already the best performing currency, the one that's probably going to be amplified the most will continue to be euros, because there's a whole fundamental story which we can talk about afterwards after the number comes out. But the market is positive euros, so we get a weak number. The best pair, in my opinion, will still be to buy euros and sell dollar Swiss. Now, if we get a stronger NFP report, what we want to do is we want to buy the dollar against the currencies that are already weak. That is why I'm saying this is very important. Now, dollar CAD is going to be a little trickier because we also have to watch the Canadian data. But we've got this, and then we've also got Aussie, which is also down already on the day. And we also have Kiwi, which is already down on the day. So if we get a stronger US dollar number, we'll be looking for opportunities to sell Aussie, probably sell Kiwi more because we have more moving average room to the downside. So Kiwi, maybe dollar CAD if we get a stronger, if we get a weaker Canadian data and a stronger US data, which is what is expected. Dollar CAD could move to the upside. Dollar yen, could still be an interesting opportunity. It will certainly move. I'll still be watching for that, but that will be very volatile. And then, of course, there's CAD yen too. So I'm actually going to put on my charts over here. We're going to put on euro dollar here because we're 60 seconds to the number. We're going to put on euro dollar. Everything that we're trading is 20 pip stop, 20 pip target, dollar yen, dollar Swiss. We're going to be looking at Aussie, Kiwi dollar over here, and
I'll call out the data as it comes out.
Right. We'll see it in the price action before we see it, before we probably hear it. So we've got about 16 seconds. So let's keep our charts up here. I'm going to put dollar CAD here, but on my other charting screen, I'm going to have CAD yen and dollar yen here.
Market looking for 160 against 143 previous.
BK members, 20 pip stop, 20 pip target. Looks like the number is, what's the number, Boris?
I still can't see it. There it is. Employment change 1, still coming.
So Canada, very weak. Canada is 1,000. What's a full-time job? So we're not seeing it in the price action. You have any numbers, Boris? Let's see. Okay, 151 job growth. CAD is 1,000. Find me, Boris, the so it's not so bad. It's a little bit weaker unemployment rate, but it's still a little weaker. I like buying euros. 108. Let's see. Find me the full-time employment number, Boris. Okay.
For Canada,
Yes, please.
full time is negative 19.7.
Ooh, that's pretty ugly. So I think we're gonna sell CAD yen at 102.97. I'm gonna put this in for BK traders.
All right, number is pretty much non-farm payrolls private 140 against 142 forecast. Part-time employment 20. Participation rate 6.653 against 65.5. So participation rate lower a little bit.
Okay, so the U.S. jobs number is not okay. We can look at this quickly. The U.S. jobs, I don't want to get distracted from the price action, is not really that bad, but we did, it's not great either. I think that, like I said, I think the market's going to make this see as more bearish. Oh well, we got stopped out of this CAD yen quickly, didn't we? Well, almost. So it's okay. We'll give the market a little bit of time. The market, it looks like the dollar wants to rally. So I think dollar CAD could be the better trade at 143.44. So we got stopped out on CAD yen, which is okay. It happens. Long dollar CAD 143.44. I feel pretty good about this one. Stop 20. We may let this one float more. So we're seeing the dollar rally. I am skeptical of the rally, and I'm skeptical about the durability of the rally here. But it definitely seems like the market is rallying, and I'm going to give it. I'm skeptical of this rally. I feel like it still could go lower. Dollar yen is hyper volatile. I'm going to check. Let's see what the moving average resistance. I like the dollar CAD trade quite a bit.
2 years are up 30 basis points, 10 years up 5 basis points. It's pretty muted reaction. NASDAQ up 77 basis points, S&P 55 basis points up. So equities like it a little bit, but I am just as skeptical as Kathy. I think this knee jerk likely going to get unwound. What's interesting going to be to watch, I don't know what's going to be in FX, but in equities, if we break below the original breakout levels. In other words, if we completely retrace this knee-jerk move, that's going to be a pretty negative technical factor, and it looks like we could go lower after that. We'll see. As Kathy was saying, a lot of this number.
No, I think that hold on. So we were long dollar CAD. I think this CAD yen could still fall at 103.04 is when we went short again. Got to be very careful with it. Small positions. Yen pairs are very precarious. But you'll notice that, as Boris said earlier, 10-year yields turned positive, but now they're back negative. So, yeah, I think this trade
10 years now down 14 basis points.
So look, we're short CAD yen. Now it's finally working. So this skepticism is proving. So right now we're almost up 20 pips. If it gets, pretty much 88, 86 here, I would just, we're almost. So there we go, 20 pips right there in CAD yen. Like I said, I think that this is not dollar positive. I think that we're going to start to see these moves up again. CAD yen continuing to move lower, probably squeeze more out of these trades. I think euro is going to continue to extend higher. 108.68 looks good. So that means our dollar CAD trade, we're just going to flatten out at 40, because while this could work, the dollar is going to hamper it. So 70, we're long euro dollar as well. And I'm closing dollar CAD at 143.40. So we're long euro dollar at 108.70. So I want to point out, we had a view. The market wasn't certain what the interpretation of it was. I gave you my initial interpretation of it. And then I expressed my skepticism about the dollar rally. The most important thing, the number one most important thing, my friends, is I've got my left eye on the charts. I've got my right eye on U.S. yields on my watch list right here. So I've got my left eye on the charts. I've got my right eye on U.S. yields. And that is what is driving my decision of going back into the dollar trade. So now we're up 15 pips in euro dollar. It'll probably hit 109. But I'm going to get out here at 108.87. We're going to take our profits in euro dollar as well. All right, so we made money. So we got stopped out in CAD yen the first attempt, initial trade, but we made money in the second CAD yen. We made money in euro dollar. We just kind of scratched out in dollar CAD. Still looking for US dollar weakness. Remember, left eye on the charts, right eye on yields, and yields are continuing to fall. I think euro is going to continue to go up. I'm going to share with you guys, you guys are all my best friends. So once we settle down, I'm going to share with you the link to my watch list so that you can get the same watch list that I have built on the right-hand side. So you can keep your left eye in the charts and the right eye on.
Because I want to know where your third eye is.
My third eye is watching the camera. Okay, look, CAD yen, still the right trade. Let's see where support is. Euro should be bought on pullbacks, 83, 82. I'm not back in yet. Let's look at dollar CAD yen. So CAD yen, we've got support, pretty much 102.50, it looks like to me. And the yen pairs are hard because there's a lot of support underneath. But Fridays tend to be very trending. And dollar yen's already lower. My favorite right now, I think, would have to be long euros. 10 on a pullback. Let's see if we get a little bit of a pullback on the short-term charts. Not quite yet. Probably it looks like 108.65 is the shelf for. So if it goes down there, maybe we'll go back inside of the trade. Yes, Boris.
Rate futures now pricing in June. They're waiting until June before any kind of restarting of rate cuts. Just letting you guys know.
Anything happening? Okay, nothing happening in Aussie Kiwi, nothing in. So really, euro dollar, CAD yen are the ones that we're trading. So maybe it will go down to that shelf that I showed you at 65 over here. Maybe it's just underneath here, but I like buying euros. Even 108.79, 78. Although the ideal price, if we're patient enough, is 70. And maybe we'll get it. We'll see.
NASDAQ is going to go to 24-hour live trading starting 2026, second half 26. For all of you stock traders, this should be really good news. What else is going on here?
Okay, we're just waiting on Eurodollar to see if we get a little bit more of a pullback. Maybe we don't want to be greedy. 7273, that looks like a good price to buy euros. Yes, Boris?
No, I'm just looking to see if there's any other interesting news. No, the line.
Here we go. We're right at 108.69. This is the right around where we want to buy. 108.69. Let's wait a minute and give it, make sure. But 108.69 is where we want to come in to see whether we get a little pop here. It's a little bit above the thing, but yes, I think we'll give this a shot and see here. And see if it holds.
So in tariff news, China Commerce Ministry, U.S. imposition of 20% tariffs on China on grounds of fentanyl is groundless, typical act of protectionism, unilateralism, and bullying. So I think in some ways, the tariff stuff still could be the more potent stuff as far as market trade goes today.
Oh, yeah, absolutely. Next week, we've got the March 12th steel aluminum tariffs coming in play. So that's going to keep everything on the headlines. We've got some questions about ES, Boris, while we're hanging tight.
I'm not looking at the comments. Let me look at the comments. What's the question here? Look at the ES for great correlation to NQ. Sometimes no. And NQ is always going to be more volatile and more, more momentous. Okay, we're trying to figure out what's the word for something that has a lot of momentum, not momentous. I couldn't figure out. I was trying to describe that NQ is the most momentum-filled instrument of all the instruments that we trade, but I couldn't find an English word to describe it. Anyway.
I don't know. Maybe someone in the room can share their thoughts, on what they think.
Who's a literate person?
Yeah. Okay, so I talked about NASDAQ. I like that NASDAQ.
NASDAQ.
What
yes.
did I want to say? Okay, so what I wanted to say is, when we were creating our trading plan, I talked about how euro is so strong and how, and I wanted to explain the euro strength. because the reason why euro is so strong, and we're only seeing we're primarily seeing the dollar weakness only against two currencies, euro and dollar yen. And the reason why we're seeing it against euro and dollar yen is because it's not because it's oversold. It's because Germany, they had this election. They had kind of they had a coalition government, and typically the coalition government has a very difficult time to make decisions because it's not like a majority. But they somehow overcame their differences and came out with this huge, bold stimulus package, 500 billion. This 500 billion spending package on their economy, on defense, on a whole bunch of miscellaneous things that people believe is the oomph they need to jumpstart their economy. So this, you can see in the euro chart here, completely turned the trajectory of euro around. It caused euro to skyrocket when they announced the stimulus package, and it kept on going. It wasn't just the euro, it was German yields. I mean, German yields popped up and then it went up more. Now it's kind of pulling back a little bit, but it went up more. And, this triggered the huge move high in the euro. And then yesterday we had the ECB rate decision. They cut interest rates by 25 basis points. But then ECB President Lagarde came out and said that she thinks that policy is a little bit less restrictive now. And so that kind of suggested that, yes, they cut interest rates by 25 basis points, but maybe they're not in a rush to cut again because policy is less restrictive. So those two things combined, this huge stimulus package, and the comments by ECB President Lagarde helped to propel euro higher. And this is something that they have that no one else does. It's not like China came out with a big bazooka package to help the currencies in the region, including Aussie and Kiwi. It's not like Canada did something. It's not like UK did something. So this is something that's unique to euro, which is why euro has the unique upside strength, and that is why euro is moving up so nicely. We're now up 10 pips in the euro dollar. I'm close, 10, 11 pips. I may just bank my profits. I'm going to bank my profits there. I still think it's going to 109. So we're going to bank our profits euro dollar at 80. So small pippage, we're not getting the huge extension moves that I hope for, but, we're catching little bits here and there. Someone asked about CAD yen. Okay, let's check my zip charts. All right. So euro dollar is still in the buy zone. CAD yen is selling off. It's pulling back. But remember what I said. We've got support right over here in CAD yen. We see that on the daily chart as well, because this is the way these spike lows are here. This is where spike low is here. I think that I don't know what Albert's question is. Maybe Boris, maybe you can find his question. I think that it could still move lower, but you're selling into support. So I don't love it as much. What looks good right now? Euro is pulling back a little bit. What are my yields doing? Yields are continuing to fall, so it is negative dollar. But we're not getting the huge moves that that I would really like to see. Let's see if we have any zip signals. What's interesting is that, Kiwi looks like it wants to form a zip buy signal. So we'll come back to this in a minute. Nothing really in the yen pairs. This is interesting. CAD yen does look like it's continuing to fall now. My overall view is, maybe we could squeeze down to 50 to 60 in CAD yen. It's not enough room, in my opinion. You're still selling into support, but it's not enough room. So I don't love it as much. Someone's asking me about pound dollar. I don't trade pound dollar, period. Because it's, for me, my stops are too tight for pound. So pound and pound yen, I don't trade. Pound yen is in the sell zone. It's below the indicator line. The background is red. Let's check the longer term charts. The longer term charts, daily chart is holding the 20 SMA. That is not bearish pound yen. The 4-hour chart shows some rejection of the 200 SMA. So it's kind of bearish. And 1-hour chart is kind of bearish. This is a dollar yen story, in my opinion, not a pound story. And so in my opinion, I would prefer, if it's a dollar yen story, to be short CAD yen or short dollar yen. I think that's a smoother trade. I think this could still work. I think it's a smoother trade than pound yen. I just don't like pound yen. But anyway, we're kind of scoping out our charts, seeing if there's any zip signals. I know there's none, or I pretty much know there's none, but you know, we'll just see. The only one is Kiwi CAD and Kiwi dollar. So Kiwi CAD is kind of interesting. Let's take a look at Kiwi CAD. So Kiwi CAD formed the zip buy signal. And what a zip buy signal is we get the white candle and it's moved above the indicator line. And when it's moved above the indicator line, and we have the background being green, the candle turns white. Now, of course, it needs to close. It doesn't close to 9 a.m. But on the longer term charts, you can see on the daily chart, look at this, plenty of moving average clearance till up there. I like that. 4-hour chart, also, we're not buying into resistance. 1-hour chart, we're not buying into resistance. Of course, we got to close above it. I like this trade. So, you know, at the 9 o'clock hour, if we close above the indicator line, that could be a very interesting trade. I'm already out of euro dollar, Rand, as I said, you know, and I kind of posted this, you know, with the timestamp, remembers that we closed our euro dollar at 108.80. And I told you verbally that we're closing the euro dollar at 108.80. So, yeah, so it's good. So your stops are too tight for pound. My stop is usually for our day trades around 20 pips, maximum 30 pips. But it's been 20 pips these days. And then for our swing trades, 40 pips, which is okay for pound, but you know, pound is very volatile. What does Boris think? Let's see.
About what?
I think about the markets. Let's see if I can.
I have no views. I have no views, guys. I'll bring you my views when Kay is done, because I don't want to talk over her. There was a question here, Kay, that I thought was
the question from Albert was any rebound at NQ or ES.
Yeah, no, I'll talk about that later. Not right now.
Okay. Well, you know,
did you see this question? Did you talk about this? I thought this.
I know Kathy likes to trade momentum, but you guys believe it's possible to trade only within price action instead of waiting for data confirmation.
Yes, is the guy's asking, is it possible only trade by price action instead of waiting for data confirmation? I thought it was an interesting question. I think, you know, depends how you trade. I certainly can trade just pure price action, but I always want to know where the data is. And I know Kathy's very, very keen on that.
I mean, you could trade whatever you want, right, Fernando? That's up to you. Whether you trade profitably or not is a different story. I mean, earlier I was recapping our performance to our BK members, and we were talking about daylight savings here and how it affected performance. And I was showing you how, you know, even though I trade the New York Open and the Asia Open, it's always 6:30 a.m. New York time. It's always 8 p.m. New York time. We were talking about how even with daylight savings, I stick to my time. I don't move it forward. I don't move it. And we still have good performance. But the point I want to make is that, you know, I trade ZIP with fundamentals, which is, you know, data, technicals, and the most important thing I shared with you today, which is sentiment. And these three, the combination of these three is what led to, you know, no losing months since June of 2023. Past performance is not indicative of future results. We did have one of our best months in February, but you know, you could do whatever you want. You could trade with just price action, but sentiment is very, very important. And as I said, you know, left eye on the charts, right eye on, you know, what the markets are doing in stocks and in yields. I promised you I would share my watch list. Where's the share watch list? Here, copy link for all of you that are so kind enough to join me today. And please, if you're on YouTube, please like the video, like the live stream. That helps us out a lot. And then I'm going to
subscribe and bring all your friends, because we do this every day. And of course, every Monday, Kathy does a full weekly setup. So bring all your friends. This is the best streaming broadcast there is, because it's the only one that combines actual knowledge, which is fundamental knowledge, with actual trading skills, which is technical skills. instead of just showing
Yes,
you.
and I also want to invite all of you to our brand new trading community. It's a free trading community. I'm going to copy this link and I'll put it onto, you'll be the first ones on there aside from our members that we're beta testing with. So this is a free community. Join the free community. You'll get, a lot of my streams, my views, things that I post. You'll also get access to a lot of great trading courses. If you want to learn how Zip works, for example, you get there's a whole library of videos on my trading strategy and the different setups that I look for and everything like that.
And you didn't even tell them the best part. The best part about this is not only can you get this is it web-based, but there's a mobile app that lets you join our community, which means that you can carry these courses in your coat pocket, and you can watch all this information when you're commuting, when you're just standing in line getting bagels. It's just incredibly cool to be able to have all of this stuff mobile as well as web-based. That's why we love this new website.
And that's what is right here. Once you become a member of the community, you can download the mobile app and you get in your app and get push notifications for things that we think is important. Those of you that are BK members here, I moved some things around. So a lot of the things that you had on the main learning page, like the heat map and things like that, are no longer there. They're in your courses.
Slowly. Go slowly. Go up there. Go see those little dots up there.
We're going to go back to the main. So BK members, those of you with us today, I moved things around. So you previously had under the learning tab, the heat map, the economic calendar, the videos and things like that. It is now under courses. You click on the right hand side, this dot
this
thing.
Little dotted thing, and then you'll see
it. You go to courses,
right?
And you BK members will get the all the things, the fundamental heat map, all this stuff in your courses. I moved it over there.
And not only that, guys, but anybody who is a big lifetime member, everything else, all the old courses are also going to be there, and all of them are going to be accessible through your mobile app. My phone is buzzing off the hook because everybody is applying for membership to us. Thank you.
Yep.
We will onboard you guys in as soon as we can. Certainly by the end of the day today, you'll have the full weekend to kind of enjoy all of our content.
I'm already approving some of you guys, and I'll approve them while Boris trades.
Right.
But there's a lot of really great stuff in our community. And so we definitely encourage you to poke around. And most importantly, talk to us. Ask me questions and ask Kathy. Ask Boris questions and ask Boris. Talk to each other in the community. Say hello. Let's get some engagement in this. We're really excited about it. It's brand new.
So many of you guys, when we're live trading, always ask us, what's the rules for Zip? How does Zip work? What's the rules for Scalper? How does Scalper work? And of course, when we're live trading, I get like 10 seconds to explain to you, and then I give up. What's beautiful about joining the community is that Kathy and I put together literally 40, 50 minutes worth of step by step, like 5 minute videos of each and every single step, how to do this, what the logic is behind this, why this should work, why, where when it doesn't work, gives you really a great in-depth thing. And all of it, literally all of that information is free to everybody. So it's, should be really, really useful for you in your journey as a trader. If you just want to learn how to trade, there's just literally a ton, probably about 3 or 4 hours worth of video content, all of it totally.
Yeah, and give us feedback. Like I said, this is brand new for us. Sometimes it's a little sluggish, and I apologize for that. But
give it a second, and we'll reach. It just needs to go into your cache. Once it goes in your cache, it'll be really good. It's just because it's always brand new website, so your computer has to cache it.
So how are we doing with everything? It seems like what was supposed to be a big day turned out to be a not so big day, right? Because we're like almost a half an hour from the data. And if we look at where we were, just for curiosity purposes, where were we right before 8:30? Let's look at the 5-minute chart.
I haven't quite unwound the dollar move
here.
But really, I've unwound a lot lot of the equity moves, almost like 70% of the equity move has been unwound, and we're starting to go down.
This is still very bearish dollar yen. If I had to lean one way, we made money We sold CAD yen. We got stopped on our first trade, which is okay. It happens. That's why we have 1-to-1 risk reward. We made money on CAD yen the second time, euro dollar, and then we also made money on euro dollar third time. And now leaving you, I think that the dollar is still.
I'll be right back.
I think the dollar is still headed lower, and the dollar is still headed lower. And I still like selling dollar yen, like 147.36 or so. We are moving towards the U.S. equity market open, but I think selling dollar yen is definitely something that is attractive to me. And knowing, based upon my experience, that Fridays, on NFP days, Fridays can oftentimes be a day where after the equity market open, we get like a nice continuation move afterwards. Sometimes you get nothing, but sometimes you get a nice continuation move. If you are having issues getting into the community, Chris or anyone, you can email me at Kathy@bktraders with an S at the end.com and let me know your email address so I can look that up or have my team look that up. But yes, we are excited about this. Any questions or charts that you want to look at? And remember, I shared with you my watch list. Where did it go? Make sure I'm going to pin this. I don't know what the star is, but, so make sure you join our free community. Make sure you get that link. Okay, let's look at some charts. You guys have questions before Boris comes back and starts trading with you. He will be looking at NQ trading with you. So pound Kiwi. All right. I mean, as I said, I do not trade pound pairs, but we will look at it. Look, I don't even have pound Kiwi on my charts. That tells you how I dislike it. Okay, so pound Kiwi. Pound is strong. No surprise. The UK is the only country that, seems to be escaping the tariffs right now. And so pound is strong. And next week we have the GDP numbers. It's at the highs. Honestly, I'm not trading pound Kiwi. I don't have an opinion on this. I love, on the other hand, trade the euro crosses. Euro Aussie, Euro CAD, Euro dollar. And yes, euro's pulling back. I don't know if was there any type of, I don't think there was any type of tariff announcement. But so euro pairs are moving up a lot. I have to say they're very overstretched. They're extremely overstretched. Euro Aussie is extremely overstretched. You have to go to the monthly charts to find any type of resistance here. And we're getting close to it. I personally, at this exact point in time, I will not be trading Euro Aussie or Euro CAD. It's very overstretched. Instead, you should have sold dollar yen. Remember, it was 35 when I told you about the trade. Now it's 147.19. It's, that's like, I think it's, it's pretty much get out. It's at 17. You're almost 20 pips in dollar yen. Some of you maybe, actually took this trade. If you did, you should be out. There's a lot of currencies. There's a lot of opportunities. But why did we create a trading plan? We created a trading plan, talked about how we're going to look at euro dollar, dollar yen, as well as CAD yen, and we stayed focused. We're not distracted by the other currencies like euro Kiwi, euro Aussie, pound this, pound that. If you get distracted, you lose sight of the opportunity. So the whole time I'm telling you, left-hand side on the chart, right-hand side on US yields, you can see I'm hovering it over here. Now it is down 1.5%. Remember, we started, when it first came out, the data, Boris said yields are up. Then I said, then they turned negative. And then, that's why we decided to keep the short dollar. And now they've gotten more and more negative. And as I saw it falling from, 0.5% down to 1%, and, I said that was what motivated me to tell you sell dollar yen. But now, it's 9 o'clock, pretty much the flows are going to start to abate a little bit here. We can check we've got the 9 o'clock candle. We can check Kiwi CAD to see whether we zip by. I'm pretty sure that we're underneath. I think this is still going to go up. I still like the trade very much. And if it was maybe on a swing trading basis, I think this looks good. I think you're going to it's going to get up to over here, but I'm done. You know, we had one trade that was stopped out. We had one CAD yen, one euro dollar, and another euro dollar, and then dollar yen, 4 winning trades, 1 stop out and 1 scratch, which I consider to be a great NFP live trading session. So Monday, there's a lot going on next week. We have inflation data from the US. We have Bank of Canada rate decision. We have the March 12th tariffs. I invite you to join our Monday live stream at 8:45, where we are once again going to learn, plan, prepare, and trade for the week.
Except I will not be with you on this Monday because I have to serve jury duty. But Kay, it's going to be in capable hands with Kay, and then we'll see how it goes with my.
And you know, the results that I had with Zip come from learning, preparing, planning, and trading that plan.
Guys, do you mind if I grab the screen for a second?
Yes,
I just want to show everybody. Remember, I was telling you, hang on a second, guys. Let me just show this to you. I was saying, look at us unwinding the NFP pump. Look at NASDAQ. NASDAQ is unwound the NFP pump. Like, this is the start of the NFP. We just pretty much broke it. But really, gold, holy cow. Gold, this was the start of the NFP pump. We just broke the whole thing, and we are down to 908. Lots of liquidation. Really interesting. And that's a very, very interesting point. When you have a news reaction, and you know, you have the initial reaction, and then the reaction breaks the original breakout spot, technically that is a very, very important point. You see some momentum going through that way. So I just wanted to show that to you guys.
Yeah, I just shared, you know, and you know, this is a very important video to watch. One of my favorite best videos, how to use bonds to trade Forex. You saw that in action today. And this video explains it in more detail.
Yeah, look at I have bonds over here. Here's the 10-year. When I first started talking to Kay, it was positive, and there was -5 basis points. I remember just saying I said, oh yeah, the 10-year just went -5 basis points. Now it's 1.24, 124 basis points to the downside. Yields are really compressing. Market, I think, is taking out of this that this is peak NFP. That we now from now on, we're going to start printing 100,000, maybe sub $100,000 job numbers. Unemployment rate is going to go up. Rates are going to start trickling down, and all of this disinflationary pressure is going to start to have an impact on demand going forward. So those of you guys who saw my tweet, I said at the beginning of the week, I said this is your last chance to buy put spreads cheap, and it was a pretty good call. So we're gonna trade definitely into the open. I'm gonna show you lots of different stuff. I want to talk to you a little bit about psychology and everything else that came into my mind today.
So you have 3 things to do right now. Number 1, like our video, like this live stream, or and give me a heart, give me a thumbs up.
Just subscribe to the channel.
Number 2, join our free community. And then number 3, I'm gonna I think I pinned it, which is you can download my Trading View watch list. Actually, number 4 is watch that bond video that I just posted.
Hey, can you post the link again in live? Because I want to copy that link, and I want to everybody who's watching us on Twitter, I'm going to put it on my Twitter feed.
Which link are you talking about?
The joining the community link.
Okay, so it's pretty easy. Community.bktraders.com. So there you go. That's the community link. So your job is to join the community, and I'm going to put in my Trading View.
Right.
My Trading View.
I'm going to put this into my Twitter as well. So
where is this? Share my watch list again. Copy link. Sharing my watch list. Subscribe, like the video. And then what's the last thing I said? Oh, watch that YouTube video on how to use bonds to trade Forex. So we've given you a nice, I had a great live trading session. It's not over yet. Now you get to trade NASDAQ, which many of you are waiting for, and gold with Boris. And join me on Monday as we learn, prepare, and plan our trades for the week ahead. It's going to be a great session. The link is already on YouTube, or you can come in on X. I'll be live streaming. I hope you made money with me today. I hope you saw how methodical that our process is. A lot of people avoid trading non-farm payrolls. We, knocking on wood right now, have done very well trading non-farm payrolls because we plan and we prepare and then we execute our trading plan. And I really, really hope if there's one thing you learned today, it really is how we keep I keep my left eye on the chart and my right eye on US yields. And that is really the trick to trading well. So thank you for joining. If you have questions, hold on. If you have questions for me, ask in the Ask Kathy in the community. So I'm going to drop off here. I'm going to be on there. Join me there. And then now you're in the great hands of Boris.
Hi, guys. Wonderful. Thank you so much, Kay. Thank you. Great trading. As always, great run through all the FX markets and all the FX trades and the rates markets. Let me take the scroll here. I'm going to do this. Just bear with me a sec, guys. I want to set up everything properly. Where am I? 80. Okay. This is my friends at Apex. And okay, this is our community link. It's in YouTube, and I also put it on Twitter, on X. So everybody come join me. Good morning, guys. Good morning. Good morning. Thank you. It's really, really fun. Kay did a great job trading. I was doing lots of trading, while she was quiet. So I'll show you all the stuff. I was basically selling every NASDAQ short on all these continuation trades. It's a new $150,000 account that I started last night. It's 151.5, so about $1,500 to the good. So I'm gonna wait until So I just tried logging in again, and it wants a new profits. What does that mean? A new profile. We'll deal, Chris. We'll deal. Don't give me any of your complaints about this. Email us the complaints about the new site. It's obviously new. We have to. There's lots of database issues. We have to adjust a few people. Any issues? Just either text me in Discord or email us. But don't pollute the YouTube feed with any tech support stuff, because I can't deal with tech support right now. Anyways, let's talk trading, because this is what I really, really want to talk to you about today, because I have a confession to make today. It's Friday. It's mea culpa day, and I think it's actually good to really, really discuss this. So Thursday, I showed you guys that I passed the 50. I got the certificate. We're good to go. We funded that. I was like literally $500 away from passing from the 150, which I've been nursing for 26 days. And last night I totally went on tilt. And I lost that account in a matter of like half an hour. And I thought it was interesting because typically you go on tilt, just get pissed off and you get angry and so on and so forth. But this time I really, really stepped back and I thought about what is it that tilted that account, because I realized that it's actually a lot more important to know what not to do than to know what to do. Like, in other words, in trading I think is a very interesting game, because it's a game not of winning, but figuring out how not to lose. Winning is almost accidental in trading, but the real skill is actually in trying to figure out how not to lose. And so one of the things that I sort of realized, kind of tempted to short this NASDAQ, but I'm gonna let it go. I'm gonna do a little riff. There's gonna be plenty of opportunities for us to trade. So there's three things I did that caused that tilt. Two of them were incredibly easy to fix. So the first thing that I did wrong was, remember, the absolute key to our rule set is that we need to have the candle close, right? You cannot trade intra-candle, because intra-candle you have lots of false information that, by the way, see if this would have worked nicely to the short side. Intra-candle, you've had lots of false information and lots of false positioning that could ruin your trade. What I mean by this is, let's say I was intra-candle, I was short over here, right? This candle is a sell signal. But if I was short over here at the bottom, I would have been stopped out on the retrace as the candle closed. On the other hand, waiting for the candle to close right over here, I got in at a beautiful price, still red candle, boom, all done, trade is done. So the single most important thing from technique point of view was to always wait for candles. No matter how desperate you are to get into a trade, that was actually single biggest interesting giveaway. That's relatively easy to fix because that's sort of the obvious technique aspect of what I needed to do. The second thing I realized is that you can't parabolically scale in negative risk reward trades. So the math of that, and I actually kind of had to think about this for a little bit. The math of that is kind of pretty obvious. Remember, we're trading 1 to 4 risk reward, right? 1 to 4 risk reward. So just to give you an idea of what happens parabolically if you are scaling up. If you want to even out this trade, so in this case, let's just for argument's sake, you make 100, you lose 400, right? Okay. So to even out the trade, you'd have to come in 4 times the size, 4 times the size. Now you're coming in 4 times the size. You're effectively coming in 4 by 16, effectively, right? So if you win, great. You're back to 0. You square 1. If you lose on that second trade, you're now minus 1,600 plus minus 400. You're now minus 2,000. So in just 2 trades, right? You're down pretty much to your. And remember, if you're on a $50,000 account, your risk limit is $2,500, and if you're on a $150,000 account, your risk limit is $5,000. Now, being down 2,000 is not the end of the world if you can stop, but you can't stop at that point. You've lost twice. You cannot stop. You are enraged. And here's the thing that I realized from a psychological point of view that almost all, at least certainly I do, but I'm sure all of you do the same thing. When we go on tilt, it isn't ever about winning. It's about hating to lose. Hating to lose. Everybody who blows their account does it not because they're trading badly, but because they are hating to lose. And so they're just trading randomly. And it's not enough in trading to say, oh, I'm okay with losing. You actually have to like losing. You have to train yourself to like losing. This is the exact opposite of every single idea that everybody teaches you in life. And because in life, we're never supposed to be losers. Only winners win, right? What's his name? Who's the football coach? There's only one thing, winning, right? I forgot his name. Anyways, that's the exact wrong mentality to trading. You need to be more than okay with losing, because it is, if you can accept the losing, you will then become a winner. But if you hate to lose, doesn't matter how much money you have, you will lose it all due to that one particular aspect of the personality. So you have to literally train yourself to say, I lost it. Thank you, Mr. Market. Let me go on to the next trade. At first, it's retarded. At first, it's kind of really, really hard. And it's not an easy process. But psychologically, the single most important thing you need to do is to love losing properly. Love losing properly. And this is the key thing, losing properly. Obviously, losing like a retard, just trading randomly is not anybody's idea of a thing. But if you have a setup, you executed the setup, and the market just simply flipped around, and the market the market went into a regime that's completely toxic to your strategy and not a discontinuity regime. Love it. It's fine. Even if you blow that account, who gives a shit? You blow that account in a proper way. So OG, a couple of people are talking to me here. He says, I was 30 away from target, hate to lose, wreck the account. Yes. Yeah. And I think, there's three things that I kind of really wanted. And it's interesting because I did an interview with Nick Leeson, who, the greatest rogue trader in the world. I did it about a month ago. It was like one of the greatest interview I ever did. It was just amazing. He revealed so much new information about the blow up of Barings. Those of you who don't know, this is literally the guy who who destroyed the single biggest bank in England, who's been around for like 5 centuries. And still to this day, the single greatest trade blow up scandal ever in the history of the world. And he revealed so much interesting information to me. But the interesting point that sort of, in the conversation he had was that traders always need to focus on their risk rather than their return. And I thought, this was interesting, that if you kind of backward engineer what I did wrong on the tilts, those are the things that I did wrong on the tilts. Those are the things I did. So one last thing before we kind of get into trading, before I get into the mechanics, let's talk about expectations, runs, rewards, and expectancy rates, right? These are all things. This is all fancy language to basically, what is my plan to get funded? And I don't mean my own personal plan. I mean my as in a generic plan. So the way you want to look at any of your Apex accounts is not how do I get to my target, but how much breathing room do I have before I get blown out? And if you're trading a $50,000 account, you have a $2,500 drawdown, right? And trading the way I do on a $50,000 account, I would not trade NASDAQ. I would only trade the S&P. Let's say I trade the S&P large. Sorry, I can't type 2,500. If I'm trading S&P large, it's a 4-to-1, 50 win, 200 loss. If I were to divide 200, I basically have 12 consecutive losses in a row before I get blown out, if I do not parabolically scale. And that is the key thing, not to parabolically scale. If I parabolically scale, I have basically three trades and I'm blown out, right? So the difference is I have 12 consecutive things. That means I have ample time. Now, these are not numbers. These are just, general ideas, because every single day is different. But imagine a situation, if I'm a 1 to 4, but I'm basically running, I win 6 out of 7, right? Or let's say I win, I win 6, I lose 1. 6 out of 7. I win. Generally the runs in if I'm doing everything properly, it's kind of a 6 out of 7 type of a situation. If I do that, basically what happens is, it's not glamorous, but this is how you make money. If I do 6 out of 7, that means I win 300, I lose 200, and I'm net. I make 100 within about an hour and a half. Because remember, I run 6 to 7 trades an hour on all of these trades, right? So if let's say I'm trading 3 or 4 hours a day, and my net expectancy is about 100 an hour, that's about 400 a day, which gives me 6 days to funding, and is always in any business, always double to triple your expectation, which means realistically you have 15 days to funding. Because you will have some bad days, you have some back traces, you have all that stuff. But what you will do is you will survive for those 15 days, because you will have 12 consecutive losses in a row as a stopgap, right? You're just not going to draw it down to that level, and that will keep you alive. And as I said, in a perfect world, you get funded in 6 days, but very likely you're going to have negative days. Overall, this kind of approach, 15 days to 20 days, so about a month to funding. But more importantly, is doing it this way, you have a much more realistic chance of actually getting paid out, because the same trade plan that you're using for funding is the same trade plan. Now, I know, just like you guys, I love to do like one trade, get funded, beautiful. There's just, it's really, really great to have that feeling where you just hit one trade and fund it. But it's like Disneyland. It's not real, right? It's not, that's not really how you get paid in trading for real. It's not how you're going to get paid on your real accounts, because first of all, they're not going to approve it, but secondly, it's never going to happen. Lightning doesn't strike twice. So yes, you can get lots of accounts if you want to just simply, if the function of your interest here is just to get lots of accounts funded quickly, you can do that. But then after that, you're going to have to go back to doing this work in order to be able to actually get paid out. And this is on a 50,000, and then on a 150,000, I have a $5,000 drawdown, so a little bit more, where I can't afford to trade NASDAQ at $100 a pop, right? $100 a pop. So the other thing I was going to say to you, the last thing I was going to say to you is, if I'm winning 50, every trade, and I need to make 3,000 to my target, right? So it's 50 of 3,000. That's basically, so I think it's 60 trades, right? Let me see. It's 60 winning. Hold on a second. Yeah, 60. It's basically 60 consecutive winning trades. You're not going to make 60 consecutive winning trades, but the point is, if you can make 60 winning trades interspersed, with losing trades across maybe 200 or 300 trades, that is your proper road to funding. Okay. This is all back of the envelope, back of the napkin math that I'm just running for you. You can run the same kind of math on the 150,000 with $100 trades. So 150,000, you need 9,000 to get funded. $100 trades is about 90 winning trades. Obviously, not every trade is going to be winning. If you get net 90 winning trades, that's how you get to that account. And you have at a $400 drawdown, and you have $5,000. It's not great, but you still have I believe 5,000 divided by 400. How many consecutives? It's 12 and a half consecutives. Almost same thing actually. 12 and a half consecutives on the 2,500. So that's a reasonable thing, because presumably if we're doing a good job, we should never have more than 2, at maximum 3 consecutive negatives, right? This gives us time to dig ourselves out of the hole. So that's I just wanted to go through the back of the envelope math with you guys today on how do we really get funded? How do we really trade? And I'll trade the NASDAQ with you. By the way, the other thing is, it's really hard to trade more than one. If you want to do the hyper scalping that I want to do, you want to keep your focus on just one product. So today we'll keep our focus on NASDAQ. Next week we can do a product a day as far as trading, which I think is going to be an easier way for us to trade. Because one of the things I noticed is that first of all, remember, the other thing I was going to tell you is, remember, if you're trading 3 products in the same account, now it's not 12 consecutives. It's only 4 consecutives, because 3 of them it's like taking 3 trades in a row, right? It doesn't, you think you have 3 products. It's not. It's the same trade taken 3 times. It's just different instruments in it. So it's another reason, in terms of understanding leverage and everything else, that that makes all the cases. So right now, basically, NAS is positive bid. We're above the 8-period SMA. This is relatively green. I got about a minute and a quarter to the trade. If this candle stays green, that's all part of my legitimate continuity trade. What I want to do is, you can see here at my continuity trades, I trade, if I get 3, I trade red 3 times. After 3 consecutive reds, I stop. If I get a black one, I can re-enter it, red 3 times, and then I stop. Right. So red here, I could have entered and I stopped. and that's it. One of the really, really cool things about this is you notice that this is a 30-minute time frame, and I'm participating almost in every second candle in the world. So I literally have like 4 or 5 in this particular sequence. When you get a good run sequence, this is where you really make all the money in the trade. When you get the good runs, and sometimes you don't, but like when you have continuity, meaning continuity of like a half an hour to 2 hours of continuous trend, you will have 3 winners, 3 winners, 3 winners. Remember, so like now I'm like 9 consecutive winners to to the good. That really runs up the P&L, so that when you do get stopped out, you're not back to square one. And that's really what you're looking for. You're looking for these sweet runs, just like in everything else in life, basketball runs, home runs, soccer runs, tennis runs. You're looking to put together, 6, 7 great games, because shitty games are going to come inevitably. But if you can get 6, 7 consecutive good games, that's where the money is at. That's where you get to press the thing. And here you get to press it in a very, very controlled fashion. So I hope you guys understand some of the stuff that I've talked about today. I thought it was good to have. Disneyland is not real? No, my friend, no. You curve line to often, it goes smooth, consistent, then crash. Yeah. So I want to, here's what I want to, the best analog to all of this, in my opinion, is, because I live in New York City, so this is very, very natural to me, is it takes about a year to put up any tower in New York City, right? Any kind of a, 30, 40, 50 story tower. It takes about a year to build it, sometimes maybe 2. You got to lay down the foundation. You got to start building floor by floor, blah, 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 so on and so forth, right? It takes less than 30 minutes to dynamite the fucking thing and have it collapse on itself. You ever see those Vegas, Vegas hotels get dynamited? Okay, maybe it takes a week for them to actually set the dynamite. But the point being is, this is trading. Trading is exactly that. If you don't think that on any given day, your whole account can be dynamited, if you don't do those 3 things: follow your structure, follow your stops, follow your size, and love to lose. The most important part. The key to not tilting is to love to lose. Okay? That feeling of like, oh fuck, I can't believe I can. Don't ever say to yourself, I can't believe I got. I mean, you say it to yourself, but train yourself to love that moment, not to hate that moment. Because hating that moment is what creates the dynamite crash. So now I'm negative bid here. Actually, oh shit, I'm a little bit late. Can I get in there? Okay, so, all right, I'm short this thing. I'm a little bit late, but it's okay. It's not horrendous. Boom, and boom, nice clean $100 to the good, right there on the scalp. I'm gonna wait till we fucking open, because it's gonna go. I think we're gonna break the 20,000, guys. I would be shocked out of my system if we don't break the 20,000 right now. They're going to run that. After that, we're going to see if they want to, rebid it. But I think we're going to close. I think the market. I don't know. I don't know anything anymore, because every single minute of every single day of our life now, it seems like an eternity. But my vibe is that I think people are getting sour on this whole thing, and they want to start liquidating. And so if that is, they're going to liquidate into Friday, and it's probably going to be below 20,000. We're going to get the Barron's headlines. Oh, NASDAQ at 10% down, crash, crash, crash. Get your money out. A lot of people are going to start panicking because they have all these profits in their pension plans and all of their assets, and they're going to see, their $1 million account now is worth 900,000, and then it's worth 800,000. They're start going to freaking the fuck out, and I think that all that's going to start to weigh on the market. I don't think the rescue trade, I'm not going to make any political statements, but I'll just say that just like Ukraine, I don't think the rescue train is coming for the U.S. market. I think we're all left high and dry. So, we'll see. We'll see if I'm right or wrong. We'll let the price action, speak for itself. But and it can also be complete dud. A lot of times, this Friday price action, the first half hour, actually is just a complete dud. Like nobody does anything, and only like at around 10 o'clock. Do we start to see, true moves of the market. But if I am, if I'm a betting man, I'd say we break the 20,000 right now. Yeah, staircase up, elevator down, exactly. Fabio Rosarius has got a funded account, first day erected. Yeah, I mean, dude, there's a reason why casinos give you free drinks with scantily clad waitresses all the time, because they know that they know your worst impulses. So I think that's the critical. I mean, if I was to isolate the single worst impulse in all of us, it's the fact that we hate to lose. And maybe in every other aspect of life, that's the right impulse to have. But what I'm trying to tell you is that when it comes to trading the markets, that is literally the worst characteristics you want to have. It sounds so antithetical to how we live our life, especially the American life. But to me, that is the key to understanding why we all blow up, or why we all tilt. Is that interview on the chat? It's coming. It's actually weird. I'm doing like a lot of pre-interview roles. We're just finishing up the thing. It's going to be awesome. I think it's going to be the interview for the ages. I will obviously let everybody know when it comes in. All right. One thing before we start, my friends at Apex, the great thing about them is mistakes are really cheap. I love trading with them because mistakes are cheap. It's $50 to reset. It was just boom, boom, boom. If it was real money, it would have been $10,000, $20,000 down out the door. And there's nothing like, it's literally the breakfast at my New York diner. We have a diner 2 blocks away. I'm not kidding you guys. I am not kidding you. It's a diner. It's a fucking Greek diner. Breakfast for 2 is $50. Dinner for 3 is $1.50. Now, I will say, food is awesome. These guys are great cooks, but this is like where we're at right now as far as prices go. I call it the $1,000 diner, but it's awesome. Food is awesome. We laugh because they make the best Italian food there is. Like mussels fried diabolo is great, but it's at $50 a person for fucking diner food and diner ambiance. I was gonna try to play this thing to the long side, but I promised myself that I was gonna wait. I'm gonna wait the first 10 minutes, not do anything on the trades here. But let's see. So again, what we're looking for is a run. So by the way, this could just as easily be a positive run, right? What I want to see if this goes green, second green candle, that's a nice clean, hopefully clean scalp to the upside for us. What time is it now? 33. We're 3 minutes into the open. Let's see if this thing holds on the green side, and we'll give it a shot. Because the whole idea is maybe we get 3 candles to the good. We can get a run to the upside. Great. We've had a big sell-off, as I said. This whole everybody's cautious around this 20,000 level. I do feel like there's a lot of stops underneath here that people want to run, so it's tempting. So so we'll see. Conversely, I'm not going to trade other instruments, but I'm just going to showcase them. Hold on a second. Let's wait a second. Let's make sure. The key thing is technique, right? We can be right or wrong, but we really don't want to be wrong on technique. So let's wait on our technique. We've got 16, 17 seconds left. Obviously, a relatively strong green candle here. 10 seconds left. At about 3 seconds to the expiry, we're going to go long here. All right, we're long here. Let's see if we can get this move. Boom, boom, another $100. Right? I keep the accounts balance open for you guys so you can actually see it. And that's the key thing. When you have technique and just focused on whatever the fuck you're doing, then you have it right. By the way, all of you guys who are trading or who are just interested in trading and don't know how to do any of this shit and like, how the fuck does he do this so fast? How are these things set up? How is it all happening? I am going to create a free course in our free community called the How-To course over the weekend. And it's going to show you how to create templates on TradingView, how to create stop and target templates on TradeAvate, how to integrate TradeAvate into TradingView so that when you press a button on TradeAvate, it automatically triggers a trade and shows it up on TradingView. All these really simple things. It's 10-second explanations, but it's only 10 seconds when somebody shows it to you. It's completely not obvious if you don't know how to do this. But as everything else, once somebody shows it to you, it becomes incredibly obvious. So I'm going to do probably like 10 little 1-minute videos on how to. I'm going to publish that course to all of our free members. It's another good reason for you guys to join our membership. And the moment you become a member, you'll be able to see that how-to course right then and there inside our thing. So it'll be very, very good. Now, yes, is it I made 100, and could I have made about 1,000? Yes, I could have. That's not what I do. It could be what you could do, but it's not what I do. Like, in other words, you could be trading the full swing turn here. You could be saying, hey, it looks like we bottomed out. I could have gone long here and done a swing trade. That's very much possible and certainly totally viable with my indicator. So right now I'm in my micro scalp mode, but if I were to go into the BFF scalper mode, you can see these are reversal signals right over here. If you took these on a swing basis, you were in at 60, you were able to get 60 points, which is $1,200, right? $1,200 on a single contract that you could have made by just going long over here, exiting out over here. Is it possible? Of course it's possible. That's why the great thing about this indicator is it's completely customizable to your type of trading. I am trading it in my own micro scalper mode, and by the way, you see how fast I switch from one to the other. That's what I'm going to teach you, how to create that little template. So boom, boom, boom. It colors it one way or the other. Now, by the way, we're going the other way. $1.20 on the clock here, 118, 117. We're breaking to the downside. It's a red signal. It's a legit sell signal for us. As long as this candle stays, we got another minute to wait before it completes. But if we reverse, if this was all she wrote, the first 10 minutes, then we reverse and we try to trade it to the downside. We're just going to focus on NQ today because I know all of you are NQ beasts, and you like that. You know what I want to do here? Okay, what time is it? 45 seconds. I got time. Let me put your comments on the other side so I can also watch you off my other screen. Let me see if you guys are saying anything. Yeah, Katie likes the how-to videos. Everybody likes it. On a 15-minute ORB trades, do you include wicks or just use the body of the candle? I don't trade ORBs, Chuck. Hang on, let me just organize myself a little bit here, please. Where the fuck am I? There we go. Okay. Sorry, I want to check myself. 11 seconds left. Let's focus on execution. We got about 6 seconds left. Sell. Oh, did I not sell? Sell. Okay, we sold. Will it work? We'll see. It's a big retrace candle, so it could easily retrace against me, but we're going to take that candle because it's a legit signal. Whether it works or not is immaterial. Nope. We get stopped out because it was it was a busy retrace candle. Now we go the other way, and now we'll wait very, very patiently. And if the candle stays green, then we're going to go the other way. We're going to let the flow go the other way. So this was completely okay. This was a legitimate signal, just a big candle. There was obviously retrace mode. We came in short 48. The low here was 43. It was just not enough to make my target, and that happens. I don't think we have any more news on the rock. I don't trade opening range breakout. Those are really good trade. Those are really interesting strategies. It's just that I like the strategies that I trade more. And that's why I created the BFF scalper. That's why I created all these, big signals. That's why the other thing is I want to show you, one of the things that I hope you guys really like about my stream feed is unlike every other fucking idiot on streams that likes to play music and, okay, I'm going to wash my potty mouth and not say what I was going to say. But basically, not discuss everything, but actually do the actual trading, and I show you actual setups. I want to do setups with you. I want to show you trades because I want you to see technique. That's the most important part. I love how by the way, how all those guys like talk. Okay, 4, 3, 2, 2, 1. Let's see if we got the buy. All right, I'm long here. We're gonna get swiped out. Let's see. Oh, we're done. We reversed it nicely. There we go. So again, good technique. Trade worked. We're going to wait till the close of this candle. This candle stays green. It's a second in the sequence. Worth for us to take it. Worth it for us to take it. It seems like they want to run it. They want to run it hard. Now there is, by the way, guys, again, I don't want to teach you bad habits, but there is. Oh Jesus, this thing is just monstrous. Wow, they're really reversed the move here. I was gonna say, when you are inside of a candle like this and the first trade works, you could bang away. If you are really confident, you could bang away. You could have made like three trades within the candle because the volatility, the momentum is so strong. But I just want to teach you one candle at a time momentum so that you get the techniques right. Anyways, my point being is that I want to show you as many trade setups as possible, instead of telling you how many fake Lamborghinis I have and how much fake money I made off the accounts that I never got funded. So hopefully you enjoy this a lot more. This is about trading, not about my big swinging dick, which I guarantee you is 10 times bigger than all these other assholes that stream. $22 seconds left. Big candle. So again, prepare yourself for the possibility of a retrace because it's a big momentum candle, but it's worth it for us because it's still, it's within the structure. Now 8-9 seconds left. 6, 7, 5, 4, 3, 2, 1. Okay, we're in. Let's see if we get any continuity. See how nice and clean it is? Continuity. Now we're 3 to the good. We're gonna leave this the fuck alone. Let it stabilize a little bit, and if we get another run, we'll trade that run. But my point is, I've been trading with you a whopping 10 minutes. We made about 8-9 trades, and that's what I want to show you. That within 1 hour, 2 hours, it's not at all inconceivable, trading in this way to put some nice P&L on the board, right? To put some nice P&L on the board. Hopefully you guys like it. I'm using a 1-4. So I'm using a on NASDAQ. On NASDAQ, it's a 20 by 80 tick trade. Okay, I put that in the other thing. Yeah, Stefan, I think you're gonna really like it. How do I link a funded challenge to TradingView? Again, that's something I'm going to put in. Join my free community even, and I'm going to put that into my how-to course, which I'm going to make this weekend. Yeah, great. Everybody loves the how-to videos. What size is that? I'm trading one lot size. It's a one lot size on NAS. So it's $100 up, $400 down. Pretty much controlled. Well, you should know what your strategy is. I mean, I have very clear rules, right? Everybody knows what my rules are. By the way, in the day trading course, all the rules are in a PDF format, so you guys can actually download those rules and enjoy them. So it's it's really cool. There's a lot, today we're trading NASDAQ. But there's opportunities in S&P. There's opportunities in gold here. I'm just trying to do one instrument per session with you guys to kind of so that we don't, I don't get distributed. You could do, and maybe if I get a little bit more comfortable, we could do two separate accounts, two separate instruments at the same time. That way, maybe we can do, if I want, I really don't want to, I really like my other account, which is this other account. What's this other account? This is a 50,000. I really like trading ES in it. So I don't want to trade gold in it, but, there is a gold signal right now. There's a red signal right now in gold, right? I mean, that is setting up for a nice, clean, possible move to the downside. So we'll see. Just letting you guys know. Right now, we're sort of in quiet mode as we're waiting for consolidation and all these all these tools. Oh man. So I'm not going to take this gold trade, but we can watch it. Let me just take your attention to the gold, because so here's gold, 14 seconds, to the bell. Got to stay red. If it stays red, I'm going to mark it. I'm going to give myself slippage. I'm going to mark it with 3-tick slippage, because it's always usually going to be the case. 3, 4, 2, 1. So we're going to be short at 26.4, and the target will be 25.9. Let's see if that works. Maybe it doesn't. So this move so far is faking us out. So 26.4, 28.4 is the stop. It'd be like no, we blew it out. It just goes right through the stop. So fine. This would have been stopped out, and now I'm going to wait for this candle to hold and close, and probably go reverse the other way. So you just have to accept the fact that continuity trades will miss, and you got to go the other way and let those things play out. Because what you can actually see what's happening here. Gold has been big positive move, massive sell off, and then we rebuilt. And if you traded this whole continuity sequence, you had one win over here, then you waited over here, second win, third win, fourth win, pause. You got the black candle. Once you get the black candle, you can resume. One win, probably 2 wins over here. I'm not sure if this was closed at 26. This would have been 1 win, and then this would have been a second win up here to the upside. Right now, this is a 48 seconds to the good. Wait for this thing to close, but I would be long now, because it's obviously a very clean, clear breakout to the upside. In the meantime, what's NASDAQ doing? NASDAQ is just holding bid here. This is still a pretty good continuity trade. This, as hard as it is to right now pull the trigger on this, because it seems so stretched out, it's a pretty good continuity trade. But let's go back to gold. I just want to sort of run this mentally through gold, even though I'm not trading the gold today. It's 8-9 seconds left. Let's see where it closes. I'm going to just let this one close. 3, 2, 1, 2. Okay, we're long gold over here. 28. 4, let's say 20, we're long gold at 28.5. So we need to see 29 on gold to make it happen. May not work. So 28.5, 26.5 stops me out. Wow, gold is just being really, really hard. In the meantime, I took my attention away from here, and as I said, this was a good trade, and I could have taken this trade, to the upside. It's really, really hard to believe that you have more continuity when everything is so stretched out, but it's actually the best continuity trades when they're all completely, when they're running like this, because it means there's a lot of momentum behind the trade. Gold finally goes 28.5 on my other screen, so if it goes to 29, gold will hopefully validate us. There we go. Gold validates us on the non-trade that I took. I just kind of wanted to narrate this whole thing, but yeah, it's dipped out a little bit, but now it completely validated us. The NASDAQ trade was totally valid at this point, right? So I could have taken one more trade in NASDAQ over here. I didn't, because I was putzing around. But hopefully you guys found that interesting and valuable. Design says he's using Heikinashi. I don't use Heikinashi because Heikinashi actually is not like real candles. Let me take it back. Heikinashi, I used to try to figure it out on like a algorithmic basis, and I realized that it repaints the candles completely. It's a sort of a false. It builds the candles off of false data. Okay, here we go. Do we? Oh shit! I'm talking. Sorry, guys, I missed the trade. So this is, okay, the last piece of advice for me, obviously, this is a big problem with me. I'm talking and I'm not paying attention. Remember, the critical setup here is 10, 20 seconds before the candle closes, you got to be zoned in on your trade. You got to make sure the trade closes perfectly. Then you press the trigger at the close of that trade, because the idea here is continuity at the end of the candle. I yapped, so I would have been in over here. That would have been a disaster. It wouldn't have been a disaster, but it would have been an unnecessary losing trade. You want to avoid unnecessary losing trades. That's the key thing. So if you notice that candle is done and it's 5 seconds after the candle, and you're still trying to get into a trade, you shouldn't be getting into a trade. There'll be a trade in the next 10 minutes that's going to be a lot more legitimate. So the only good thing I did in this particular situation was not press the trigger. Even if this thing works, it doesn't matter. It's bad. It's a bad lesson to learn. Always zone in. The whole, the first 3 letters of the indicator are BFF. Be fucking focused. That's what it stands for. So focus is number 1. End of candle number 2. Proper setup number 3. Everything else is outside of your hands. After that, it's all outside. Yes. By the way, gold, after doing its little thing, now it starts to really have a nice, strong continuity. The very cool thing about micro scalping is it teaches you the much longer price structures that are happening in the markets. By focusing on what's going on the 2-minute candles, you develop such a good read of the longer term move of the market, that if you have any instinct for longer term trades, which I don't, but if you have any instinct for longer term trades, this alone is worth it for you as just an exercise and a tool set. You don't even have to use the tool. You can just simply use all of its visualizations to help you with your longer term trades. This has been a 30-minute leg, right? What we love 30-minute legs. 30-minute legs is basically $300-400 easy for us in continuity trades. So we collect all that money, and then we can go away. You could even make the argument that, hey, I want to trade like 10 o'clock to 11 o'clock, or 9 o'clock to 11 o'clock, 2 of the most continuous hours in the marketplace, and try to make those. Get a couple of those legs out, and sometimes if you're lucky, you don't even get stopped out, and then you're $1,000 to the good. You're $1,000 to the day, and you're good. I started this account yesterday. I said so. It's not at all unreasonable that maybe I'll get up to 152. I need nine to get funded, but that's how the math works. That's how the psychology works. That's how the structure works. You get all of those things. I see everybody starting to come into the community, which is great. Let me put the link in one more time. I'll put that in chat, and I'm also going to put this into. Hang on a second. Where the fuck is it? Where am I? Sorry, I'm just looking for that link inside the thing. I need to have it on my fast hotkeys, which I will. Oh man. Just bear with me. Copy link address. Okay, I'm going to put that into the room. Is the fundamental course for beginners? Yes. Let's see if this works. Hopefully this link works for you guys. Okay, NASDAQ taking a little bit of a pause, right? I left $200 on the table here by yapping my mouth, but that's fine. The point is, you're not going to get every trade. You're not going to get every ounce. Your job is to get as many as reasonably possible, and walk away net positive in the day. This is about trading for income, not trading for P&Ls. Oh, Tony, I think the PDFs. I think the PDFs are actually in the BFF section. I'll add them to the free day trading course. This weekend. I think they're in the paid section, but you should have access to the paid section too. Okay, you have 100,000 funded account challenge. My drawdown limit is 95,000. You're at 95,000. Can I bring it back? You can always give it a try, my friend. Although my answer is probably no, but because you're close. But so what? Do it again. That's the whole game. Speaking of doing it again for very little prices, let me put the Apex link in here, guys. Please go ahead. Bang away. I'm gonna pick up 5 accounts today, so that we can have like a broad array of accounts for intra instrument trades, trading trades. Okay, maybe we'll see. Maybe a signal here. So this candle, this is a red candle, right? Minute 23 left. If it holds here, we're going to trade the continuity. If it doesn't hold, then obviously it's not a trade, but let's see. You can see, by the way, just from a broader perspective, what's happening in the market. We had the knee-jerk move, unwound the whole thing, did not break the 20, right? I was like, oh, we're going to break the 20. See how wrong I was? This is why I don't trade swing. I can't predict anything than 2 minutes forward. So we did not break it. Maybe we will later on. I was just, sometimes I'm early. And then took the leg all the way up to basically make a double top, right? To make a double top kind of a thing. And now we are at kind of an interesting juncture right now. All right. So I got 30 seconds. 30 seconds before the candle closes, get yourself organized. Start focusing on the candle. That's more than enough time, but you want to give yourself a lot of time. So I'm going to focus on this. Let's see. I'm going to let this thing close. I'm actually going to let it close. I'm not going to pre-run this candle even by a couple of seconds, just to see where it goes. It's a big ass candle. It can easily retrace against me. If it stops me out, it stops me out. I'm not going to cry about it. I have a choice not to trade it if I don't want to trade it. So, but I'm going to trade it just because I want to show you the mechanics. Want to sell. All right, we're short here, and it's probably going to retrace against me. Yep. But we'll see. It's a lot of vol. It's a huge amount of sell-offs. So the retrace risk here is always very, very large. The bigger the candle. Sometimes we get lucky, and that's why we absorb that. You have to have that big rubber band of stoppage, and now it blows out. Like now we finally get that second leg down, and now we might have an opportunity, for further downside price, action. We'll see. But you see how NASDAQ is a beast. It's like riding a wild pony. Minute left on this candle. We'll watch that very carefully. Oh, GFAS. GFAS is like, I think GFAS should run the show because he's a much better trader than I am. There are traders in this room like Miguel and GFAS who take all of my instruments and do so much better job because they have a better temperament than I do to run this. So good job. 73 winners. You adjust the number of contracts based on a couple of indicators. I guess you're becoming a scalper. I will turn everybody into a complete degenerate by the time I'm done. That our secret logo is Degenerate Traders, right? We actually even had merch printed up. I'm gonna have to do this again. Okay, let me focus. Let's. We got 11 seconds left. 6-7 seconds. This is trading the second continuity angle on this thing. Okay, short this. and done. See how fast that was? In and out, in and out, in and out. So, a couple hundred dollars. But again, focus. One shot, one kill. Now, is this going 1,000 fucking miles away from where I should be going? Could I have made $1,000 instead of $100? Yes, you could too. That's not, I'm just showing you the micro scalp way. The great thing about the indicator is you can trade it any way you want. The beauty of it is it's giving you a signal. You could have taken this signal and said, "Oh, I'm gonna fucking put a stop over here." You could have gone in BFF mode right here, and I think it probably had a reversal signal here. Well, there's a reversal signal here. It didn't quite give you the full reversal signal. But if you traded this reversal signal against this stop on a swing basis, again, the key thing is where you want to be as far as profits and stops. If you're looking for large gains, you have to have large stops. If you're looking for small gains, you have small stops. I'm basically, my personality and my structure is to put together tons and tons and tons of small gains, and at the end of the day, I'm up $1,000 over a couple of hours. I'm good to go. That's really what I do. But there's lots and lots of different ways to run this trade, and the course explains to you all sorts of different ways of how you could trade this in terms of its signaling potential. So I hope you guys really like it. Let's go back to microscalp mode. Wow, so that was fun. So 3 candles in a row, we're done. 3 strikes in a row, 3 whatever, 3 acts in a play. I'm a very much a classicist. I believe in a beginning, middle, and an end, and then we start the narrative again. Oh man! All right, guys, I think I'm gonna have to wrap this up because I got meetings coming up. How do you put the time left before the next candle? How can you put the time left before the next candle? Sorry. You want to ask me that in French, Stefan? Because I don't know exactly what you mean by English. I'm not quite sorry. I don't quite understand what you mean. We wait for the candle to close, and then we trigger on the close of the candle. So we waited for this. There was a massive drive here. Like this thing went from 43 to 79. Jesus, that was a big move. 143. That was a 70-point move. That was a 1,400 move per candle, right? So obviously, we only took a small piece of it, but the key thing is we had to wait for the close of the candle, and then we go 1, 2, 3. We got 3 candles. We're done, right? Especially, by the way, also you see this third candle, which is here. It's a much more of a bullish candle than a bearish candle. They brought it all the way to the top. Well, we like the classic momentum candles. Let me show you the things you want to look at as far as properties. They give you lots and lots and lots of confidence. Oh, hang on just 1 second, guys. Ipsa, I got to call you back. Okay. My son has the perfect record of always calling me during live trades, just like inevitable. And then he goes out there and just makes all sorts of fun of me for all my live trading. But yeah. The countdown time timer is shown. That's what you. Oh, sorry, that's what you're talking about, Stefan. You're talking about the countdown timer. Okay, so that's super easy to do. You see this countdown timer? Okay, that's actually a good thing. I'm going to write this down because you need to do. You should need to count down time. If I don't write this down, I won't be able to. I'm going to make a how-to on that, but it's easy to show you. You're going to go to settings, right? Canvas. Fuck if I remember where the hell it is. Scales and lines, status line. Symbol. Do you think I actually remember what the hell the checkoff box is? Where is it? Oh man, I totally forgot now. Anybody remember? Now I'm gonna have to Google this thing. I totally forgot where the countdown. Which one of these menus has the countdown enabled? TWP. What's this? Somebody give me a step 1, step 2, step 3 of how to put the countdown thing. Scales and lines. Okay, so we're going to go settings, scales and lines. No overlapping. Count down to bar close. Thank you. Thank you. Thank you. Thank you. Right over here. Count down to bar close. GFOS. Thank you. I knew it was some there. Okay, everybody sees this? It's right here. Right here. Countdown to bar close. Right? Everybody good? Okay. So that's how you enable it, so you can see it on your screen, which is really, really cool. Thank you, Vishnu. Yes, thank you. I got it all. Thank you, guys. I really appreciate it. Thank you. Great crew. So so that, you know, Stefan, that explains it. Okay. Je vous en prie. Okay, guys, good session today, right? We started out, $500-600. I forgot even where we started out. I think I started 151, pretty close to 151, almost to 152. Could have taken a couple more trades. So, you know, not bad. This is basically from last night to here. I'm pretty good shape. We'll see how it goes. But let's remember the things that I kind of want to take away today. Number one, most important thing, enter on candle close only. If you miss the entry, let it go, right? Do only 3 consecutive trades in a row. Like, in other words, continuity, just 3 continuity candles, then pause after that, because there's, then you're pressing your luck on the continuity trades. Obviously, configure everything properly, and do not parabolically scale. Just simply, you get stopped out, especially when you did it correctly. Stop out. Oh, one last thing: trade only one instrument in your one account. If you have multiple accounts, which is always a good thing with Apex, get 5, 6 accounts, then trade one instrument per account. This will ensure that you're not going to over leverage, because anytime you're trading NASDAQ, S&P, and gold, you're not trading NASDAQ, S&P, and gold. You're trading NASDAQ at 3 times the size that you're supposed to be trading. It's the same trade, just 3 times over. So really important. It's just because it's a different instrument does not mean it's not the same trade. It's the exact same risk. So remember, we're trading risk. We are trading risk. I guess that's the most important thing. We're trading risk, and we're putting ourselves in a position where we want to have at least 12 opportunities to blow up our account. Not 1 opportunity, not 2 opportunities, but 12. So contained risk, right? Always looking on the back side, not the front side. Okay, I hope you guys really enjoyed it. I hope it was fun. Yes. Yes, next time. I will. Anyways, thank you, guys. Everybody have a wonderful, wonderful weekend. Work on that how-to course. Make sure you guys all join us. And of course, those of you that want to become members, please become members, because then you're going to everybody gets to have access to this indicator once you become a member, which is really, really cool. This tool alone is a money machine if you know how to use it so properly. And hopefully I show it to you every single day. So we did a lot of trades. Actually, you know what? Let me tell you how many trades we did. I'm just curious before we go. I'll tell you how many friggin' trades I did, because I can go custom range. I started today at around 9 o'clock. No, I guess 8. We'll call it 8:30. I mean, I was a little bit off the screen because Kay was trading, but I'll call it from 8:30. Let me tell you how many trades I did. Oh, only 10. Wow. It felt like a lot more. 10 trades, $500. Here it is, guys. Here it is. Hopefully you can see it. Wow, Jesus, it felt like so much. It felt like so much more. I don't know. Maybe I was working too hard. So $500 net, as we say in Hollywood, net. Not bad, pretty good. Good winning trades. Did a good job. That's it. That's as simple as it gets. That's the daily report card. So hopefully you guys really liked it. Okay, my friends. Thank you. Everybody have a wonderful, wonderful day. I will see everybody on. I won't see everybody on Monday. I'm so sorry. I got fucking jury duty. I'll have to, I'll have to see who I hate more, the prosecution or the defense, and then try to get myself off of it. And then otherwise, I will see everybody next week as soon as I get out of it. Thank you, guys. Enjoy. Bye-bye.